Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hello, I'm Stephen Willis from Locked On Ole Miss Podcast, joined by Tom Vanderford, as he always does every week to talk Ole Miss sports. Before we get to Ole Miss sports, though, I do want to let everybody know that the Grove Collective has started a new campaign called March to Victory. And what it is, it's a bracket style tournament. Their goal is $10 million and 10,000 total members in the month of March. And it's a bracket style thing. Your region against any other regions. You go in there, you donate, whichever donates the most wins the region, and that bracket goes forth, and they eventually crown a championship. Check that out on the web at thegrovecollective.com/march to victory. Again, that's thegrovecollective.com/march to victory. Also, Tom, Realtree is going to match like the first $500,000 that are donated to that NIL fund.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some good stuff. And it's just in the nick of time. Now, the rumor is the new Realtree camo uniforms, they're done. They're ready to go for next season. We'll have to wait to see them, but apparently they're done. But the fact that Lane Kiffin's having press conferences, we're seeing pictures of people throwing footballs and things. Spring practice has started, Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It truly is.
Yeah, I'm just talking to my uncle today at lunch. That's an Ole Miss alum, and we're going to go up there on April the 13th and take his grandson and go to the Grove Bowl.
Nice. Very good. Very good. And that's also the Mississippi State weekend. So the campus should be buzzing pretty good that weekend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. And that is that Zach Arnett is going to be basically an unpaid volunteer defensive analyst on Ole Miss's staff. The salary paid by Mississippi State. And it's hilarious, right?
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And he's a decent defensive mind. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad to have him. And the fact that it's for the low cost of free makes it even better. Of course, I'm a lot of people don't know this, but I'm an engineering guy, and I work with some state folks, and they don't know what to think about it actually, But yeah, I think it's hilarious. I think once again, Coach Kiffin cements his fate as the ultimate troll. It's awesome.
And he referred to them as Starksville.
Yeah. Oh, God bless it. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think that rivalry is about to start having a little bit of juice. Now, I don't think the Mullen Freeze thing is ever coming back. So anybody expecting that, it's folly. But I do think the intensity is about to ratchet up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It'll just be snarky. It won't be anything like Dan Mullen and Hugh Freeze. I hope not anyway. That got toxic.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, Jaxson Dart had a procedure in January. We all saw pictures on Instagram and all that of him going around on the scooter. So we knew that was going to happen. But that means that Walker Howard and Austin Simmons are kind of taking a lot of meaningful reps to start spring practice. And it's I'm referring to it as a Cold War because it's not quite the quarterback competition that's going to happen in 2025, but it's like a posturing position to put yourself in the best spot for the person that replaces Jaxson Dart 12 months from now. So I call this a Cold War.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad that it's happening. First off, that Jaxson he's already proved himself. Mm-hmm. He needs to get healed for the season. And just in case something unfortunate happens next year, we're all Ole Miss fans. This gets some well-needed reps for our two backups. And they're both really good. I see that, on the interwebs that Mr. Howard is dating Coach Kiffin's daughter. So that's kind of weird.
That's Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
But Austin Simmons, from everything I've heard from people inside the program, is just unbelievable. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's a great pitcher. He's just a great athlete. We're sitting good at the quarterback position.
Yeah. In this age of specialization to where two sports stars are not the norm, in fact, it's kind of hard to see one. Austin Simmons has a chance to be very good in both.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's, I'm not going to compare him to Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, but he has the ability to play both sports.
He could be Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, he sure could.
Mm-hmm.
He sure could.
So we'll see what happens there, but I'm just excited that footballs are in the air. We're seeing press conferences. Lane Kiffin called the NCAA a disaster because basically there's no rules anymore. It's completely the Wild West, and that's kind of the only other thing. But we'll see exactly how that goes. Now, Jamin Brakefield, he's returning to school.
Yep. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. He's a good player. He needs, in my opinion, he needs to not be as soft. He needs to be more physical, but that's okay. He's a good player. He's a good kid, and I'm glad he's coming back. I'm glad Maddie Scott's coming back. I think that's huge for our women's program. She will play in the WNBA. She's the real deal.
Yeah, she's the most talented player on the Lady Rebels team, and her coming back for 2025, that's actually really big news. That's probably bigger news, honestly, than Jamin Brakefield coming back.
I would agree. I would agree. She's that type of an impact player for Coach Yo. Of course, I'll be honest with you. I don't see how anybody could not like playing for Coach Yo. She's something else.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to defend.
Yep.
If you're willing to defend, it's like she will go to war for you.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah. If you're not willing to defend, you'll be sitting next to her. But that's just the way it is.
Exactly.
So let's see. I talked to Derek Vandegrift about the baseball series this weekend tonight, and he said that Morehead State knocks the snot out of the ball.
Oh, well, you never know. And one thing I've learned in college baseball, and I'm not an expert by any means, but a lot of these smaller schools have at least one really good pitcher. Mm-hmm. So, it's hard to sweep anybody anymore. But yeah, the fact that Morehead State hits the ball well, we kind of need to see that because our pitchers need to grow a little bit.
Yep. Absolutely. Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Tom Vanderford, thank you very much, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hotty toddy, everybody.
Hotty toddy.